Hello and welcome back to the channel. Back with Ryan. Been a long time coming.
Hello there.
Yeah,
It has been.
we've been trying to do a
We are
follow-up.
slackers.
Yeah, trying to do a follow-up to our Supergrass video for some time now, and we are finally getting to it because we are doing Alice in Chains. Discography, pretty interesting. Two distinct phases.
Yeah.
One with Lane Staley as the front man, and then his tragic passing meant that they went on hiatus for over a decade, and then they came back with some other albums.
Yeah,
um,
yeah. Did you enjoy them other albums?
yeah, they came back with some other albums, and I'll leave it at that for now. Um,
Yeah.
7 albums to rank. We are including the Jar of Flies EP because it is 30 minutes long, and I feel like that is justifiable to rank it against some of these other ones, even though most
Yeah.
of the albums are like an hour long, so it's like half the length. But there are albums that are
Yeah.
30 minutes long, is what I'm saying. We both listen to Sap, but we're not counting Sap because it's like 15 minutes or something. So that
Yeah.
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 So I'll give you the floor to give you number 7, and let's kick it off.
All right, number 7. All right. Number 7. I've got the most recent one. 2018's Rainier Fog. And I think it actually starts out really well. The one that is a really cool like stabbing riff. And I was really into that song, but kind of similar problem with all these second era albums. The production, it's a bit gets a bit boring after a while. So I've got this at 2.5 stars. Open as a highlight. Other than that, not very memorable. I think Fly is quite a
Five,
decent ballad,
5 out of 10. We've got to be consistent with the last video. We can't be going
yeah.
now. 5 out of 10.
All right, 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. But yeah, I think it's decent. But the modern production, it's not. It's not the classic era.
Okay. Well, I was worried we would have very, very similar lists.
Yeah.
We don't have exactly the same list because I don't have that at the bottom. At the bottom for
No,
me,
I didn't think you were.
the devil put Dinosaurs here, which is
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, this is not this is not a very good album at all.
Oh
The
dear.
production on this is awful. It's like so loud with no good
Yeah.
riffs at all. Like, I don't mind heavy music, but this is like compressed loudness that's just sound is like making me a headache. It's like over an hour long.
Yeah.
There's like one half decent song, but even that half decent song, it doesn't make me think of Alice in Chains. It makes me think of like late era Foo Fighters, like 2010s Foo Fighters. Um, so
Oh dear.
yeah,
Mm.
it's really not very good. The songs aren't all that compelling. I feel like they use most of their good ideas for the reunion on Black Gives Way to Blue, and this kind of just feels like a bit of a, I don't want to say a cash grab, but a cash grab. It really doesn't feel like much love was put into it at all.
Ooh.
It's like very vapid, and yeah, I felt ill listening to it. So
Wow.
4 out of 10.
Wow.
4 out of 10 for the Devil.
4 out of 10.
Yeah.
4 out of 10.
Like there's
That's not a
nothing
bad score
memorable.
with that with that review.
There's
Yeah.
there's nothing memorable about it. There's no good riffs. There's no melodies that stick in your head, and it sounds like shit. So I don't know what to say.
Yeah, that's my number 6. I clearly like it a bit more than you because I've got it at 6 out of 10. Maybe a bit kind. It's probably borderline a 5. But it's like it gives me that Green Day American Idiot kind of vibes with how loud it is. Yeah. I like that album quite a bit. It's that same style production. Nothing crazy memorable. Like, I agree with you. I think Stone's pretty good. The title track's decent. Which first of all, that's not a great name for not a great title, but fair enough. Um and Choke the closer is quite good as well. But yeah, it's pretty basic. Uh, some good riffs, but nothing crazy good.
Yeah, that makes sense because my number 6 We are saying the same albums in different orders. My number 6 is the latest
Yep.
album, Rainier Fog.
Yep.
And this one, I think I might have been, I don't know. This is the hardest one to rate for me because I kind of wanted to give this a 7 because I actually, especially the back half of this album, I really enjoyed. Um, like Never Fade and All I Am, the last two tracks I thought were pretty good. The title track's pretty good as well. The One You Know, like you said, great track. Couple middling tracks in the middle, and again, the production is not my favorite, but it's a bit better than the Devil Put Dinosaurs here in terms of sound. And I feel like there was a bit more, like they took 5 years off between albums, and I feel like there's a bit more creativity on this one, a bit more something different. Still not much creativity. They're reunion albums after all. But I'm going with a 6 for this one. It's borderline a 7. I think it's decent. It's okay. Much better than the one before.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I'm expecting the same number 5 here. Black Will Give Way to Blue. Definitely the most creative and the most excitement of the new era albums. And it's the title track, easily the best of the new era songs for me. Still not still not the old era. It's not in the top 10, spoiler. But yeah, I think there's some really good songs here. Check My Brain, that's a really good riff. And yeah, there's some really good songs. Production's kind of the same as the other two, but similar problems as in it's quite a long album again, and it gets a bit boring after a while. But yeah, I'll still give it a 7. I think there's some really good songs in here. And,
yeah, so you predicted correctly. My number 5 is Black Gives Way to Blue. It was close. I'll tell you that much. It was close because I think it's a strong album. I think an issue that plagues a lot of their albums, even in the classic run, is that they're just too long, man. Like the CD era really it really was a bit of a plague to a lot of bands, I feel like. And they kind of get away with it on other albums, but this one is no exception, really. There's good songs. I like All Secrets Known. I like Check My Brain. I like Your Decision. But like you said, easily the standout, the title track, sung by Jerry. Overall, I think it was clear that they had a reason to make this album, which I don't think there was a reason to make the album. It was made because they were a band and they were like, oh, I guess we better release a new album. Whereas this was like, there was an artistic reason to bring the album out, which I like. Just doesn't quite touch the classic era for me. But again, this and 4 are quite, they could have flipped around, but I stuck with it because I didn't want to piss it.
Well, it's your opinion. All right, so we're on number 4. I've got the self-titled. Once again, you probably got the same, I'm guessing. This one is probably the first one for me that does suffer quite a bit for the length. Some of the songs are really long on here, but I still like them. I think Frogs, that is an awesome vocal model on that. That is awesome. Sludge Factory, really, as in the title, sludgy, like sludge metal, which are really niche genre, but Alice in Chains do it really well. And Heaven Beside You, the highlight track, which Jerry sings on quite a lot, so it's like basically a duet. And I think in general, I've got all the songs liked on my Spotify. I think it's a pretty consistent album. So yeah, I've got this at 8 out of 10.
Pretty strong.
Yep.
We do not have the same number 4.
We do not.
No. My number 4 is Facelift, which is also a 7. This one I struggle with a little bit. Obviously, Man in the Box is an absolute classic. Not going to say a bad word about that song. It is one of the greatest grunge songs. If someone was like, the best grunge song is Man in the Box, I'd be like, hey, I'm not going to argue. Like that's a great choice. Um,
Yeah.
some other great songs on there. To me, there are like five really strong songs. It's Man in the Box, We Die Young, I Can't Remember, Love Hate Love, and Sunshine. Those songs are all really strong. I like all of those songs. The rest of the
Yeah.
album is a bit patchy for me. There isn't really the consistency you would get. I actually think that self-titled is a more consistent album. This one, I do suffer with the length because there's songs where I'm like, okay, you probably could have cut that. This isn't very engaging. But you know,
Mm,
I don't have any qualms with the playing or the production. Like it's pretty strong. It's more that the songs are a bit lackluster compared to what would come later. So it's a solid debut,
yeah.
but I think maybe a teensy bit overrated, maybe a little bit.
Ooh, it's not the end of the world because it's above Black gives way to blue, so it's not the end of the world. Yeah, that's my number three, and I've got this pretty strong 8 out of 10. I think the first four songs are all pretty much classic. Obviously, Man in the Box is above the list, but We Die Young as well. That's a great opener.
Yeah.
So the first two are like really classic Alice in Chains, and then Sea of Sorrow, Bleed the Freak, Love Hate Love, It Ain't Like That, and Sunshine. They're all the standouts to me. Slightly goes off near the end. We could maybe get a 9 if it didn't tail off a tiny bit, but I still think there's loads of great riffs on here. It's probably his best, maybe his best guitar album. Maybe there's just loads of great riffs on here. Really heavy album, and for the time as well, it's only 1990. So, and this is like the sound of grunge more than Nirvana's album was. This is really, you know, the sound of grunge, which I think Alice in Chains should get some credit for. And yeah, really strong album.
I mean, yeah, to come out the gates with an album with a sound that like refined and sure
Yeah.
of itself is pretty impressive. So I'll give it that. um, Again, we're saying the same albums, just in a slightly different order. My number three is
Yeah,
self-titled, which I've got at an 8. I
very nice.
agree. Heaven Beside You is fantastic. I also love Over Now. 7 minutes long, but it's really engaging, really cool. Again, is another one that I pointed out. Frogs, like you said,
Yeah,
it is a bit long, but I think I enjoyed all of it. It's just that the thing is with Alice in Chains is a whole like 60, 70 minute album of those songs that there isn't much variety. It can be a bit, if you're not
yeah, yeah,
like, poof, this is a lot. But again, the production is great. It sounds exactly like it should, like the guitar
yeah,
tones and the drum sound. It feels like it's been really watched over and perfected, which it has, I imagine. So yeah, pretty great album. Strong way for Lane to go out, really, in terms of
definitely,
Chains
definitely.
albums. Very dark, and a really,
Mm.
really good album. It's probably my favorite album cover of theirs. It's really disturbing and like gross, but I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Too.
I agree, 100%. Really good album. Right, and my number two. You can't complain about the length on this one. Jar of Flies, the EP, just really good. You can't complain about the length. It's like a Ramones album, but
Yeah,
yeah, really good acoustics. Obviously, it's got Nutshell, which is an amazing song. Super sad boy, a super sad song. But No Excuses as well, which is quite upbeat in a way in terms of the sound of it. Not really lyrics, but the sound of it is really good beat. I Stay Away. It's got these really quite weird vocals on it, but really cool, really really cool. And yeah, it's not a bad song on it. It's almost perfect, really. Really, it's a solid 9 out of 10.
yeah. Um, Man, I had trouble with this top two. I had a lot of trouble.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, I'm still not sure which way you're gonna go, but
I mean, I could argue for either. Like, I could say one thing and then something else would apply for the other that would make me like that one more. So this is subject to change, but my number 2 is Dirt, which is Alice in Chains' best.
Oh yeah,
It's Alice in Chains' best LP, easily. I'll give it that. It is
yeah, yeah.
fantastic. It's a 9 out of 10. I love it. And it has, I can't remember when I was thinking about this, but I was thinking about like best opener and closing track, and the ones that come to mind, like Who's Next, Baba O'Reilly, and Won't Get Fooled Again, or like Ziggy Stardust, 5 Years, and Rock and Roll Suicide. All these different ones that come to mind. And this was one I didn't think about. I'm like, wow, this is a strong contender. To kick off on Them Bones and close on Wood is just unreal. Like that.
I'm just surprised myself because I looked at the track ranking and I was like, "What's the closer?"
Yeah.
That's great. That's good. Yeah,
it's
that's a good shout.
Really strong. Rooster is a classic, obviously, but Rooster isn't like, it's like my 7th favorite on the album because the album.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like Damn That River and Junkhead and like Rain When I Die, like so many amazing songs on this album.
Oh my god, yeah.
I think the only thing that drags it down is the song Godsmack. Don't like that song at all, really. But yeah, the thing is when you have a song I don't like and it's an album that long, it's like, well, you could have just cut it. I would have liked it more. So yeah, that and the overall length and how it, like, the reason I've put Jar of Flies at the top is because it's easier to listen to in one sitting. Whereas Dirt is, as much as I love it, and I do love it, it is not like one I always want to chuck on. Like I could just chuck on Jar of Flies.
Yeah.
I couldn't really just chuck on Dirt. So that's why it's number 2. I can see why you might think I'm crazy, but
no. Yeah, well, it's obviously my number 1, and it is. I've got it as 9 out of 10 still, but with re-listens, we could potentially get a 5-star. We could, or a 10 out of 10, whatever.
Whatever.
We could potentially, yeah. And it's an awesome album. It's the sound of grunge, really. Alice in Chains are like the definition of the grunge sound. Like Nirvana, they're probably a bit more alternative. They're obviously grunge, but they've got more alternative as well. Whereas Alice in Chains is the pure grunge all the way through. And Them Bones, what an opener. They're a rare kind of short song that they do. They don't actually do many short songs that are like
short songs,
just straight up rockers. I know, and we love a short song. So that's a great. And it's about 7 classic, just grunge songs in general, not Alice in Chains songs on here. So I'd say Them Bones, Damn the River, Wait When I Die, Rooster, obviously, Down in a Hole, and Wood. And there's even others like Angry Chair. That's a really good song. Junkhead I really like. So almost perfect album. Almost. Yeah, I agree with you. Godsmack. Maybe not quite as good. But it could still get a 5-star potentially because I've still got it liked. So I still think it's a good song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's awesome.
I can't really argue with that. I think one thing that on that album in particular is the metal influence as well. Like I feel like they brought a lot to this. Like there's definitely an alternative metal, sort of new metal kind of sound in there somewhere as well, which is cool. And like influence from, especially on like Sap and the self-titled and Jar of Flies, there's a lot of Led Zeppelin influence, I thought, as well, which is quite interesting. We'll get into that on the songs video.
Yes.
Another video that will come out.
Little plug. We got number 1.
My number 1 is going to be the EP, Jar of Flies. And I didn't really want to do this because it felt very me to do the acoustic EP at the time.
I half expected it, but I wasn't sure because I know you loved it. But yeah,
the 30-minute album, But I can't lie. All 7 songs are great. Like it is, it's really, really strong. Like to go through each track. Rotten Apple is a really cool way to open. Although it might actually be my least favorite on the album, which is pretty crazy. Nutshell is, like you said, it is just unreal. And then you get an amazing run. I Stay Away, No Excuses, Whale and Wasp, and Don't Follow. The flow of those 4 tracks is perfect. Like each one leads into the next one
Yeah.
brilliantly. And then you close on Swing on This, which is, you know, it's weird because it's like the opposite of Dirt, because the bookend tracks are my least favorites, and then the 5 in the middle are my favorite ones. But it's like I do like both of those songs a lot as well. I love the sound. Again, really cool album cover. I think there's something about this album that's really alluring. I gave it like an 8 on my first listen, I think, and I was like, Dirt's a lot better.
All right. Oh.
But I kept coming back to it, especially, I won't say which songs, but especially some songs really drew me back to it. And yeah, in the end, it's kind of overtaken Dirt. But again, if you ask me next week, it might be a different list, but that's the one I'm feeling right now.
Yeah.
Both among the best outputs of the 90s. And it's a 9. It's a strong album.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Well, EP, sorry.
EP. Yeah, I feel like you can count that as an album.
Yeah, I think Sap would be
30 minutes
actually for what it's worth.
Sap is. I wanted to include Sap at first, but it's a bit outrageous.
I gave Sap an 8, so it would probably
so did I. Yeah,
be number 4 for me, I think. But again, comparing them,
4 or 5 for me. Yeah,
it's comparing them is tough because it's like, how do you?
I'll probably put it 5 just because it's.
Yeah.
Just because it's really short, so it's like might move down one.
Well, fear not, Sap fans, because you might be hearing some more from Sap on the songs video. I can't say for sure, but maybe.
Yes, and of course the Unplugged album.
Yes,
might feature.
I think as closing thoughts, like, where do you think Alice in Chains rank? Firstly, in the big 4 of grunge, and secondly, in the 90s for you.
The big 4 of grunge, so close with Nirvana for me, so close. They've got more albums, they've got more output, so I could easily put them above Nirvana. If Dirt gets a 5-star, they're above Nirvana. That's what I'll say. I need to re-listen to Dirt, and if that gets up to 5 stars, then they're above Nirvana. Because I like the Unplugged album more than Nirvana's. It's close, but I like Alice in Chains more. It does need that 5-star album, because Nevermind's a 5-star for me. And in 90s in general, yeah, right up there. Why not? I mean, we've got in 90s, we've got Weezer. For me, they've got the 2 5 stars.
Yeah,
and we've got Radiohead, of course, but yeah, they're right up there. They've got some classic albums there, and a great live album. So probably top 5 90s, easily.
Yeah, I think they're probably top 10 90s for me, and they're probably I don't really know much Soundgarden or Pearl Jam, to be honest, but I would take them over personally. That's just me. But anyway,
yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, I need to listen to more of them, but what I have listened to, I've listened to them the best album apparently, and I like Alice in Chains more. So there we are.
There we are. Yeah. So another video in the bag, and we'll be back with the songs video later in the week, which is exciting. And I'm not sure who we're going to cover next. We'll try and take less than 2 months to get the listening done. But we've got a few ideas.
If we could do a Big Star. So there's no excuses there to smash that out.
Stay tuned and you'll find out.
Yes.
But yeah, see you soon.
Peace.